This is Bruce Friedman of Adult Site Broker, and welcome to Adult Site Broker Talk, where each week we interview one of the movers and shakers of the adult industry, and we give you a tip on buying and selling websites. This week we'll be speaking with adult performer Seka Black. ASB Cash, the affiliate program for Adult Site Broker, would like to announce we've doubled our affiliate payouts. That's right. Now when you refer sellers or buyers to us at Adult Site Broker, you'll receive 20% of our broker commission on any and all sales that result from that referral for life. You can either place a link to us on your site or refer buyers and sellers through an email introduction. ASB Cash is the first affiliate program for an adult website brokerage. Check out asbcash.com for more details and to sign up. Now let's feature our property of the week that's for sale at Adult Site Broker. We're proud to offer for sale a unique network of pay sites. The network includes 6 sites of many different stripes: a gay cosplay, bareback, and fetish site, a straight pegging, light fendom, boy, girl, and pantyhose fetish site, a bi-threesome site, a queer hot sex site, a hardcore BDSM and bondage site, and finally a trans female site. There is also a very active affiliate program with Nats as its back end. Through over a decade of independently funding, shooting, and selling niche content, they've founded these 6 sites, found eager, ethical, and competent directors to run them, and put content on the sites. Most of the content is exclusive. With an influx of cash and a dedicated team, there's still a lot of opportunity for growth. Only $1.6 million. Now time for this week's interview. My guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk is porn actress Seka Black. Seka, thanks for being with us today on Adult Site Broker Talk.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
It's nice to have you. Now, Seka picked the name Seka because she was told by many men that she looked like the Seka Black, who was a porn star. She is 67 years young with blue eyes and natural blonde hair. She's 5'7" and 140 pounds. The warm weather has spoiled her throughout the years, which has gotten her used to not wearing much clothing. This has led her to be playful, mischievous, seductive, and horny. She is a grandma. I like that, a horny grandma, and was an accountant before getting into this business. That's wild. That's a big difference between being an accountant and being in porn, huh?
Oh, yes. After sitting behind a desk for so many years and imagining what else I could be doing, that would be a lot more fun. It was a roller coaster, and now I'm finally here. When you set a goal, you get there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess you're not the same Seka from the 70s. I guess I kind of, in a short way, told the story of how you picked the name. Why don't you give me the long version?
It's a combination of dealing with men in my previous business, and they would actually even tell me that I looked a lot like her, which was surprising because they actually tipped their hand on
yeah, I know,
their personal life. But it was fun. Some were trying to make moves on me, and then some weren't. They were just being business in a discreet way.
Yeah. You know, I've been reading a book by Nick Manning, Dropping Loads. In fact, I just finished it last night, and I had Nick on earlier this week, or actually last week. And one thing what was real interesting was the author was talking about how ostracized people in our industry are, especially on the performance side. I know about on the business side because, can't get a bank, can't get processing, all that stuff. But you walk into she was talking about how, because she lived with Nick for 6 months while she wrote the book. And she talked about going to the grocery store and then going to the grocery store without Nick. And the checker would be like, "Psst, aren't you the one with the porn star?" And I mean, do you have those types of experiences? Do people stare at you when they see you?
Very much, yes. Actually, most of the time, if I don't want to be noticed, I just won't put any makeup on and
Hmm.
wear a hat and sunglasses. But when I do get dressed and I'm out to have fun for the night, I get so many stares.
Yeah.
And then sometimes even when I don't put the makeup on, I still get stares. Probably
Yeah.
because I do work out and I stay in shape for my age.
Hmm. Yeah. That's good. I just got back from my morning 90-minute power walk along the beach. So
Nice.
I understand, and I'm 64, so we're pretty close in age.
Oh,
But
wow.
I'm not on camera, and it's probably a beautiful thing that I'm not because never going to happen. So, how did you get into the business? Tell me the story.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's a combination of wanting to do it. Oh gosh, it's a roll. I definitely have to start from the beginning. It's long, but
Go
I'll
for it.
try and cut to
Go
the
for it.
chase.
We have,
It's
hey, no. There's, look, we have no time limits on this podcast. Give me the whole story. Start from the beginning and tell me the whole thing.
okay. Uh, Actually, when I was 30, which that was a long time ago, um, I was done with children and staying in shape, and I decided that I wanted to be a stripper, even though I was that accountant behind the desk. Of course, I'm married, so I went to hubby and said, "Hey, you know what? We need some excitement here. I'd love to be a stripper for a while and see that side of the fun." And it was really interesting. Sorry, I got some puppies
Hmm.
here, but
It's okay. We
they
have six.
ah, but it's something where he went for it. He loved it. I worked in the evening stripping, and I made quite a bit of
Hmm.
money. And it was something where I actually went and found out that that's when black men were really attracted to me.
Interesting.
And then we got to where I was making about 800 a night, and
Wow.
I thought, yeah, that was like getting up there, and I was starting to want to go more to that instead of my accounting.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I decided that I had to quit for a while and get back into the norm of reality there for, but it was fun. And then
Yeah.
at 30, I ended up getting pregnant again.
Hmm.
So it was something where I had to quit doing that and stick with family life again. But then
Hmm.
when my youngest was 20, we decided to start swinging. And
Ah.
that's when I still had that uh, interest in black men.
Yeah.
So when we were swinging, that's who we were with. And my hubby loved videoing me. And
Wow.
when he would video, he would post me up on sites, just short clips. And that's when production companies started to call me and said, "Hey, you look great. You're
Hmm.
great age, and we wanted to hire you." So that's where I'm at, where I got hired.
Hmm.
But hubby
And
and
how old
we
how old
still
were
love.
you? How old were you then?
Then I was 50.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was 50 years old.
Okay.
Um, and it was an experience, but I still had my other business, so we slowed down with that, and just did swinging for a while. But it's a combination of back and forth where I would play and do porn, and then I would come back and do the accounting. But it was my end result when I was 65, and I said, "That's it. I want to strictly do porn. I love interracial." Um, so we got to where he videos me, edits videos, and then posts all on all the websites.
Wow.
It's been a blast. And now this is my retirement. 60, well,
Yeah.
that was at 65, I went full time. I
Yeah.
quit the accounting, and that's how I started.
So your husband is your videographer?
Yes, he does everything. He produces
Hmm.
and he posts and he helps me out with some of my emails because I can't keep up with it all.
Wow. Wow. Hey, you guys sound like quite the power couple.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my accounting job was with our own manufacturing company.
Hmm.
He was the electrical engineer, and I was the accountant, and we had that for
Wow.
35 years. We've been next to each other
Hmm.
uh, through our whole marriage.
That's quite a relationship because to be able to work together and to be able to, I know my wife and I couldn't do it, to be able to work together and to live together, that's not easy.
Well, I don't know. It's not for some people, but I guess we found the right partner and we hit it off, and we always communicate real well. And
Hmm.
it's like a wild time. Like
Yeah.
people say, there are ups and downs, but if you're
Yeah.
open,
Right.
hey, you can do anything.
So now, you guys are in the lifestyle,
Yes.
and you primarily, as you mentioned, you primarily play with black men.
Mhm.
Um, when you first started swinging, and you noticed the black men were attracted to you, what was your first reaction?
Oh my gosh, that was wild. It's like
Hmm.
that's all I wanted to flirt with was the black men.
Ah,
It's
okay,
just a big turn on. Maybe it's because it's something when I was young,
yeah,
I was not allowed to talk to them.
yeah, yeah,
Um, that was the time when people were moving. There were white schools and black schools, and
sure,
people
sure,
were getting bussed in. So
yeah,
when
I
all that
remember.
happened, I was overwhelmed. I thought it was empowering. To this
Yeah.
day, I love that's my kink. I
Mm.
love black men. They're
Mm.
just that attracts me. Like some people have a feet fetish
Yeah. Yeah.
or pantyhose. It's something that's my kink.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And obviously you and your husband swing, and your husband doesn't have any problem with what you do.
Oh no, not at all. It's a
It
big
sounds like
turn
he really
on.
likes it.
He loves to watch. It's a big turn on, and then it's
Yeah.
exciting for us later on.
Yeah, of course. Of course. What about your family? I mean, does your family know what you do, and what do they think?
It's funny. This generation has been so open, I should say. The next two generations, I've got grandchildren that actually know, and some
Wow.
of them are, oh, yes, and then some of them are already doing their thing in OnlyFans and other
Oh,
places.
wow. Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's great. I've got five girls
Hmm.
and 11 grandchildren,
Jeez.
and it's been wild. They're all
And
open.
you've got grandchildren who are on OnlyFans?
Yes.
That's freaking awesome.
and I have, and now I have two great grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
Still babies, but
Oh my
it's a large
God.
family.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's quite a family. Have you always been in Florida?
Oh yes, I'm a
Hmm.
Floridian. I'm in
Oh,
Fort Lauderdale, and
I know it's a great
I
place.
won't be leaving. I love traveling.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
you guys should come out to Thailand sometime. You'd love it.
I've seen pictures. It looks
Mm.
beautiful.
I got some pictures for you that I'll send after we do our interview from dinner last night, and you'll want to
Oh,
come.
okay.
So, tell me about the Queen of Spades tattoo on your back.
Well, it started out where I was seeing all these girls. Um, it's when I was starting to swing, and I saw the girls
Hmm.
where they had tattoos on their lower back, just
Hmm.
normal design, and
Hmm.
some of these tattoos you can buy to put on your ankle, and that just wasn't enough for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
I
Hmm.
thought, bull, horns, queen of spades. I thought, yeah, that's what I want. So I started to
I
draw
love it.
out the queen of spades in the middle. And then
Hmm.
I have a bull on each side, which represents, of course, my handsome black men.
Hmm.
And they, each horn is inside the queen of spades. So it's balanced. I love
Hmm.
it. And I
Nice.
do get a lot of comments.
Sure. And
But
obviously the meaning is pretty self-evident.
oh yes,
Um, so why do you prefer black men?
I find that not only when I'm out that I catch them staring at me the most,
Hmm.
they're not discreet. They're obvious. Most of their personalities are bold, which I love. It's a turn on
Yeah.
because they don't hide what they think.
Well, it's nice to be wanted, of course.
Yes. And so I return the looks, of course.
Yeah.
And I find that most of them are handsome and fit, which I love. And then I've discovered they have a lot more down below too. So it's an
Well, I was waiting for
advantage in
that.
all.
I was waiting for the myth, but it's not necessarily a myth.
It's very true, very true. And in
Okay.
fact, I've got them all. I've still continually. I think I have at least 5 a day that are emailing me wanting to shoot with me, and they're showing me their pictures of them.
Wow. What notable black porn actors have you worked with?
As far as men, I've been with
Mm-hmm.
Jack Slayer,
Mm-hmm.
Richard Mann,
Mm.
um, Jonathan Jordan, which is Pussy Bandit. His nickname's
Mm-hmm.
Pussy Bandit. Uh,
Love that.
they're, I think, the most popular, but I've been out there. Oh, and Don Sudan.
Mm-hmm.
He actually has a son that does porn. Also, he's up in his 50s.
Mm.
He's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
All the guys are so nice. They're so
Very cool.
thoughtful, friendly, and they do keep in touch. It's a real good profession. It's
Do, mm-hmm. do you
I've
do
just
all your Do you do all your shooting out in Florida, or do you go out to LA for some?
Oh no, I go to LA, I go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas is big now.
Yeah, yeah. But most of the time, and I've gone to Atlanta.
Mm,
Uh, I
it's a
was
good town.
starting to go to New York, but
Mm-hmm.
with COVID,
Yeah,
everything slowed down.
sure, sure.
So but I'm anxious to get out there again. Since let's see here, December, I went back out to California,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's starting to get busy again.
Hmm. Good. Yes, that seems to be the case. As we record this in February, we're not going to run it till the summer, but with the backlog of interviews we've got, yeah, things are starting to get back to normal. Thank goodness. So,
Yeah.
tell me about your favorite positions.
Oh, they're
Oh, I like that.
exciting.
I like that. I like that. I like that sound you made.
Well, I honestly have to say doggy style.
Hmm.
It depends on what you're getting, though. If it's only one-on-one, it's doggy. Although I could still be on top for double penetration too. I love that one. My
Hmm.
gangbangs, when I get DP'd, usually I like the guy underneath me and I'm on top, and then there's someone else above me. And
Hmm.
they know how to definitely satisfy. Oh gosh, it's a lot of fun. And then of course, then I love to be having a cock in each hand and in my mouth, airtight. They're fun. I get hornier when I'm having gangbangs.
Hmm.
The more I
Very good.
have, the more cock I have, the hornier I get, and
Okay.
the harder the climax.
Well, Seka, you're in the right business then.
Yes.
So, are there certain kind of shoots you prefer?
I love acting. I love
Hmm.
in the beginning where there's a storyline. Is that what you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, there's some exciting ones where I've been in the park where I have a frisbee and I'm throwing it and hit the guy. Then there's another one where I'm jogging and the guy comes running by and catches up and he runs into the tree. I like those kind of things.
Yeah.
It's
Humor's good.
Yeah, I love it. There's recent one that I did with Brazzers,
Hmm.
and we were actually playing bingo, and I stole some of those bingo chips and stuffed them down my top, and then ended up yelling bingo, and my top flies open, and all the chips come flying out. That was fun. A lot of good. I love good shoots like that. They're it's a challenge at the same time.
Well, you seem to really enjoy what you do. Is would that be a fair assessment?
Oh yes, I love it. If I wish I had discovered this many years ago. And
Hmm.
the technology, actually we did, but the technology wasn't out there.
Right, right. Yeah, it's
And that's
come a long way.
yes, yes. The DVDs were around then, and that's all you could do, or is go to an adult bookstore and purchase it there.
And before that, VHS.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Betamax before that. I remember all of it. Oh
Oh,
God. We're around the same age. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we've had similar life experiences for sure. So what are you besides cock?
Yeah.
What are your hobbies?
Oh, my hobbies. That's funny you said that because my other daughter that's into this also,
Hmm.
I started making her outfits for us for cosplay and doing her
Oh,
outfits
cool.
for she dresses up. I
Are
sew.
you are you at liberty to give her name on this?
Um, I don't think I should
Okay. Okay, that's
because
fine.
she's in a different direction, so I
Yeah,
better
yeah, yeah,
not.
yeah. Okay. No problem. Okay. No, we'll leave it at
But
that.
she so I sew. I love sewing.
Hmm.
Besides my gym, I do cycling. I love
Hmm.
those race bikes. I do
Yeah.
cycling. So I do two different things that keep me in shape, and then I love my sewing. And of course, then my
Sounds like you do three different things to keep you in shape. You've got the gym, you've got the bicycling, and you got your sexercise.
yes. In fact, those help me with my gangbangs. Working out, you definitely have to. Yeah, the gangbang, you have to work out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people realize. Okay, and again, I learned a lot from reading the reading Drop and Loads. I don't think people realize the physical shape you need to be in to do porn
Yes.
scenes.
Oh, yes, definitely. Those guys they're pretty strong. And when you get picked up, for example, you got to be able to hold
Hmm.
on. And then,
Yeah,
of course, when they're fucking you, you've got to be up there and not falling down on your face. There's
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of things, which I don't. I
yeah.
push back because I want more.
Hmm. I love it. Okay, so what are your goals in the adult industry?
My goals. To shoot more with the big companies.
Hmm.
Right now, with COVID, I've been doing a lot more of camming and
Right,
Skype.
right.
So I'm looking forward to the next 5 years of starting to shoot and travel more to Los Angeles and Vegas, those type of
Hmm.
things
Hmm.
with the big porn companies.
Okay,
It's
okay.
it's fun to shoot with our own little production company that we have
Hmm.
uh, privately, and of course, we're finding a lot more talent.
Right. They're
Um,
finding you, obviously.
yes, yes, and I've been finding some really good BBC out there, and they're young. They
Hmm.
love uh, being with the stepmom, an older
Hmm.
woman. That
Nice.
seems to be taking off quite a bit.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it's fun.
So now you said you like to travel. Where do you like to go?
I think my favorite place is Las Vegas.
Hmm. Oh, that's
Yeah, I love Las
we have that in
Vegas.
common. It's one of my least favorite places.
Ooh, wow.
I OD'd. Yeah, keep in mind, I grew up in California. Okay, so I had a lot of Las Vegas before I got in the adult industry, and then when I got in the adult industry, we had all the shows, and I got to tell you, Vegas doesn't do it for me. I go to the shows. I like Internext and AVN, although AVN
Mhm.
didn't happen this year. Hopefully, it will in the future. I have my doubts, but I'm hoping it will.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vegas has never been my kind of thing.
Ah. Well, I probably, because like you said, you've had plenty of it, just like
Too
I've had
much.
plenty of Florida and the beach.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been here all my life, so
Sure.
I want those bright lights and more shows. And when I
Mm-hmm.
do travel there lately, it's
Mm-hmm.
for shoots. I hardly get to see and relax and just enjoy Vegas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
So I'm
there's a
looking
lot to
forward to that.
do. There's a lot to do. There's good dining. There's obviously the shows. So yeah, those are good things to take advantage of. I'm not saying it's a total loss. I'm just saying it's not my favorite
Yeah.
place. And keep in mind, living internationally, it really broadens your horizons and it really gives you a better idea of the world. And you realize that an exotic trip is not going to Hawaii, you know?
Uh, uh,
Um, and most Americans are like, well, I've been to Hawaii. And I go, well, where else have you been? Nowhere. Okay.
uh,
So any place else besides Vegas that you like?
uh, I used to say New York City.
Hmm.
I'm hoping one day that I can get back there.
That's a great town. It's a great town.
Yes, I love New York.
Well,
My
if you like
hubby's from
if you like
he's
New
from New
York,
York.
you'd probably like Bangkok. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No, definitely. It's a crazy town.
Well, it sounds like it would be wild there,
Mm-hmm.
sexually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you and your husband would have a blast.
Well, we'll have to look into that one then.
Definitely. Definitely. So besides shooting with production companies, you mentioned new talent.
Mhm.
Um, how many guys have you found, and what new talent would you be interested in mentioning?
Boyd Banks.
Hmm, good
He's
name.
yes, he did pick out a really good talent name. Yes, and he's in the middle of Florida,
Hmm.
and he is like 6'2", real dark
Hmm.
built, and he
Hmm.
has a real deep voice. That's
Oh,
the
that's
other
cool.
thing. I love deeper voices. Um,
Okay.
that's that's a big turn on to me. But
I'll
he's very good.
try to drop it a few octaves the rest of the podcast. How's that? As a former sportscaster, I can do that.
Ah, very good. No, he's just got this natural, and he does speak up when he's in a shoot. He doesn't
Hmm.
hesitate. He's not shy. I
Good.
run across a lot of shy black men, and you've got to get them to say a few lines, and that sometimes it's
Yeah.
difficult. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's just because they're nervous for their first time,
Could be.
but anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
Could be. Could be. So how is the porn shooting scene in Florida? Is it pretty active?
Yes, very. I've heard lately from the guys that they're surprised, the ones that do come into town from other parts of the country,
Hmm.
that they have quite a few shoots lined up with
Nice.
MILFs because there are so many in Florida
Hmm. Hmm.
and
Sure.
South Florida.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Miami's I think always had some has always had a reasonable Miami and Fort Lauderdale have always had a reasonable amount of shoots down there, and there are some
Yeah,
companies down there that are pretty big. So absolutely, Paper Street's down in that area, and I know they have a lot of sites and they do a lot of things. So,
yeah.
um, so what types of custom videos do you shoot?
Ah, well, I've done Cuckold,
Hmm.
where, of course, the BBC and then there's a couple of guys that have wanted to pretend like they were my husband in some of those videos.
Hmm.
That's been a lot of fun. Then I've had a lot more stepson
Hmm.
or my daughter, and she brings home her boyfriend,
Yeah.
that type of thing. That's gotten very popular. I've gotten a
Oh,
lot of
absolutely.
requests for that.
Absolutely.
And they do work out really good, well. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, I think Brazzers was one of those shoots where I was moving in on the stepson. So
Yeah. I mean, do you, and I know this is performance and it's not real, but as a grandma, as a great grandma, does it ever occur to you when you're doing like a stepson scene, for instance? Does that ever bother you, or do you just kind of chalk it all up to
no,
being performance art?
no. Honestly, I look at that person, handsome,
Mm-hmm.
very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
I check out what's below. That's all I need.
You're great, Seka. I love your honesty. I just love your honesty. You're hilarious. I love it. So,
Thanks.
what is your secret to staying fit and young? You know, to look at you, it's really hard to believe your age.
Part of it is my genes. I do
Hmm.
have my mom still living at 89 years old.
Oh, bless her heart.
We have 5 generations alive right now. And
Wow.
yes, it's got a lot to do with the fit structure of my generation, my family.
Yeah.
I think they're German and Swedish.
Mm. Yeah. That's good.
So
Yep.
yeah, yeah. And they don't have weight problems.
Hmm.
So, and I've always stayed in shape,
Yeah.
never smoked. That's got a
Good.
lot to do with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's most of
Well,
it
you take
really.
care of yourself too. You too talked about biking and you talked about going to the gym. I mean, it's a real commitment, isn't it?
Oh, yes. I know I have a couple of other MILFs I keep in touch with, and it's the same thing with them. They're
Hmm.
always at the gym. It's a definite thing you have to do all the time. Eating, we stay away from restaurants, and of course that was easy this past year.
Well,
So
it's easy to
I
stay away from something when it's closed. That's true.
yes, definitely. But eat healthy. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, we went to a restaurant last night, and I had a sea bass and stir fried vegetables. That's not too unhealthy, is it?
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, and the sea bass here, they kill it and they cook it and they put the whole fish on your plate.
Oh, wow. That
Oh, it's
sounds so
amazing.
good.
I got pictures for you. So, how large is your family?
Well, my cousins, I've got at least 52, I think. Yeah, 52.
Wow.
My mom, um, her family is of 7 children, had 52
Uh-huh.
um, children.
You guys must be
And
Catholic.
then, yes, they
Well,
were.
that was a great guess.
Yes. Yes.
Or it
Definitely.
would
And they were
be Catholic
country.
or
They were
Mormon for
country
sure, one of
people.
the two.
Well, they were in the country.
Yeah.
I think my father's side was they were farmers,
Mhm.
and my mother's was the rich side,
Hmm.
and they built basements for homes.
Hmm.
That's the combination.
Wow. Wow. So,
Yeah,
what are
but I
your
don't know my cousins. I moved.
yeah. So, what are your goals for the balance of 2022?
Oh, 2022. Well, my goal is going to be to organize. I have so many different websites where
Mhm.
my videos are at,
Yeah.
and I have a couple of different campsites. My goal is to minimize of just to two of each because
Hmm.
I have too many.
Mhm.
My other goal is to start traveling more
Mhm.
and shooting.
Yeah.
Uh, that would be a lot more fun.
Right.
And also have a schedule for my cams.
Hmm.
Right now I've been not at one place at one time, and I need to start to do that.
Mhm.
Um, and then find some more talent out there.
Yeah.
I've found a few, and I love shooting with new talent.
Yes.
They're so
Absolutely.
much fun. And hey, I'm at this age, And I have so many guys coming to me and saying, hey, I've always thought about doing it. Can you try me out? And I just have them, I go from there. I
Nice.
send them the requirements, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, that fun seems to be the operative word for you. So how do your fans contact you if they want to get into the business?
I have a couple of emails. My main email is Seka Black 69 at gmail.com.
Okay.
I have a website. My main website is sekablack.net, not .com.
What happened to the .com? Was that the old one?
No, somebody found out that I was trying to open it, and they bought it right away.
Oh, geez.
And then they wanted some money for it, so.
Well, you know what you should do? You should trademark yourself.
That sounds like a great idea.
Well, like I said, we'll talk offline.
Okay.
So, Seka, I would like to thank you again for being our guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk, and I hope we'll get a chance to do this again real soon.
Me too. I'm having fun.
Thank you. My broker tip today is part 4 of how to buy a website. Last week we discussed making an offer and deciding the best price for the site you're buying. Once you've made your offer, the work begins. If you're working with a broker, let's say Adult Site Broker for instance, we handle the negotiation for you. Let's say the seller doesn't accept your offer. They may make a counteroffer. If you decide that you're willing to pay more, you can either accept their counteroffer or counter back to them. A good rule of thumb is to always leave room to negotiate. So don't make an offer that is the absolute most you're willing to pay. If you do that, then you have nowhere to go if the owner counters your offer. Once the owner and you have come to a deal, then it's time to do some due diligence beyond what it is you've already done. During the initial process of looking at the site, you should have asked some questions, like in the case of a pay site, how many joins and rebills there are per day, and any other pertinent questions. During due diligence, you need to make sure everything is where you need it to be technically to integrate it with what you're already doing. You may even get your developer involved if you're not tech savvy. You and/or your developer should ask these pertinent questions. Once those are answered to your satisfaction, you should either have the seller or yourself draw up a sales agreement. I always tell my clients to do the agreement. Why? Because that way you can dictate the terms. So whether you're the buyer or the seller, you can make the rules. However, just be ready to have the seller's attorney change some of those rules. Nothing is final until everything is signed off on. Another thing we do for our clients is a letter of intent prior to the sales agreement being done. This gives your attorney a roadmap for the agreement. The letter of intent, and more so the agreement, will have all the terms involved, including who pays for everything, who pays for escrow, for instance. This can be paid by the buyer, the seller, or split between both parties. We'll talk about this subject more next week. And next week we'll be speaking with Dee Severe of Severe Sex Films. And that's it for this week's Adult Site Broker Talk. I'd once again like to thank my guest, Seka Black. Talk to you again next week on Adult Site Broker Talk. I'm Bruce Friedman.